pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop.
And we are back with your Purple Pants podcast pit stop summer rewatch of Amazing Race season 15. We are back with episode 8. I am joined by my ever so flowing, free-spirited, and loving podcast host, the winner of Amazing Race season 29, Miss Brooke Camhi. How are you feeling today?
I'm in the flow. I'm ready for it. I'm excited for today because I bring with me one half of, I'm going to say, one of the most handsome winning teams in Amazing Race history, not even just recent history, like full-on all-time history. I think that's fair. He's cool, he's funny, he's smart, he's handsome. Ladies and gentlemen, one half of the winning team of season 35. Yes, I think it's 35.
Yeah.
Greg, please. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for the hype up, man.
Greg Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg, how has your summer been treating you this far?
Really good. Really good. It's been hot. I'm a little bit of a sweaty boy, so it's been fighting the 100-degree days, but feeling good. Feeling really good. Yeah, excited to be here.
That is good. When you and Johnny were preparing for Amazing Race season 35, was season 15 a season that you watched?
We actually did not watch this season. And I watched, obviously, the season for today, but I don't know who wins it. So I might, every time I go on this show, I feel like I watch whatever episode I'm watching, and then I finish out the season. So I'm excited to see.
Bryce doesn't know either, so this is cool. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather have a 100-degree day or a 20-degree day?
20-degree day. I have this coat. It keeps me warm. It could be -5 degrees. It keeps me warm, so it doesn't matter. And
I'm not saying could you survive it, but you would right. But you would choose 20 to be in 20 degrees over 100 degrees?
Yeah,
I would too.
Really? Oh, not me. I go to Florida in August. I am a warm bird.
I mean, do we get any more just the degrees? Because if we are at 100-degree weather and we're by a beach, then okay, sure, I'll take 100-degree weather.
Yeah, you can be in your ideal situation. So it's like 100 degrees by a beach, but you can't go in the ocean, but you can get the breeze. Or 20 degrees, and if you're a skier, you're on a mountain. No, you can't get warm in the 20 degrees. It has to be. The point is, if you're in 100 degrees, you can't do something to make yourself cooler. And if you're in 20 degrees, you can't do something to make yourself warmer. You have to, the degrees is the degrees, but you can be in any place that you like, is my point.
Yeah, as long as I can.
This is a great would you rather.
It is. As long as I can have
a coat, yes.
Then yeah, 100% 20 degrees. It's just, I'm just such a sweaty boy.
So am I, Greg. This is why I hate the summer, and I don't know, because it's the summer rewatch. I hate the summer, one, because I'm cheap and I don't put my air conditioners on until July 1st, no matter how hot it is. So we had those hot days in June and I had to sweat it out. But in the summertime, I'll take a cool shower before I'm getting ready. And I feel like as I'm drying off, my body's like, oh, there's drips. We're sweating. And then my body just starts to sweat even when I'm not hot. So I'm a sweater too. It's frustrating.
Your body
turn on the air conditioning.
No. Okay. Not until July. And there's also some stipulations. Not until July, and there's 3 days consistently over 95 degrees is when I will finally turn my air on.
What if there's 3 days over 95 degrees in June?
Gotta sweat it out.
Wow, that is one impressive, just like tenacity and stubbornness, and two, because I'm
stubbornness, I say silliness.
I'm immediate with, like, as soon as it starts to turn any sort of hot, I'm turning on the air conditioner. And I think I used to do it, and then I was like, oh, it's like $20-$30 difference. Like, I'm doing it.
Yeah, and I'm the same with the heat. I don't turn my heat on until December. I live by myself, and I don't know why I live like I'm struggling. But
when you're in a hotel room anywhere, do you have a set number that you set the thermostat to?
Oh, the coldest.
Oh my God, thank God I don't chat. Greg, what's your number?
Oh, 63.
My God, thank God I don't live with either one of you. Holy 74 if I'm alone. 70.
That's heat.
Sometimes 71. I like to sleep at 70 because then it's like not too cold, not too hot. But if I'm alone, sometimes 74. But I have compromised. Matt also wouldn't want it at 63. Like that's obscene.
I like to go to sleep cold, snuggle up in a blanket, and get warm. That's the point.
I'm chilly at 70. I feel like that's okay. That's good. I could snug it up at 70. Anyway, sorry. I just got curious, so I asked.
No, good cue. Good cue.
Would you rather live in the pocket of a sweaty giant or in his shower drain? Sorry, I've lost it now.
Did you just come up with that?
No, it's a line from Friends.
I was gonna say, can we know what the giant looks like first?
I mean, he's handsome, but he's sweaty.
Okay, put me in the armpit.
And you don't smell good.
To who?
But the answer is the pocket. You don't live in a drain. That's silly.
I thought, okay, not the armpit, the pocket of his
Would
armpit?
you, okay, I could do this all day. I have so many would you rathers that I thought of over the course of years. Like, would you rather have 6 fingers total or 14? And I'm talking 3 on 3. I'm talking a hand and 1, or like 9 and 5. Like, one of your hands has the allotted 5 on it. So I'll call it 7 or 14. And you can have a thumb on hand too.
Yeah, definitely the more. Definitely the more.
Yeah.
I feel like I would just take the 14 and become like the best pianist. In the
Piano
world.
prodigy. That's my answer to that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Sorry.
That's a good
Anybody
one.
else?
I could join the X-Men. I wasn't even thinking about piano. I was like, oh my God, that means I would be
Pickle people and they wouldn't even like be able to handle it. Okay, sorry. Anybody?
I love
No?
that.
Just me?
I love that though, Brice. You're shooting for the moon. We're like, oh, we can.
Yeah.
We're like, I could be a superhero.
Yes.
I don't know what kind of superhero 9 fingers makes you, but I like it. I mean,
We'll figure it out.
monetize that shit if you can. I don't know.
Something. Well, I mean, listen, would
Sorry.
you rather
okay, yeah.
would you rather hold paper over candles, or would you rather volleyball in what could be mud or manure?
Yeah, right. Thanks for bringing us back. I was already way off the path. So at least you made it relevant. I don't want a volleyball in the poop mud. That's not for me.
It's kind of for me. I feel like you could go for the more riskier, even if the ball's about to go out of bounds, I could dive at it and not
But
get
also
hurt.
there's only 2 court. Okay, sorry. We're very far ahead of ourselves, but there are things to take into consideration when we get to this detour.
Yeah, when we get there, I have a lot to say about that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So should we start it? I apologize to the entire group of people listening for the first 7 minutes of this podcast. I've been
Or you're
okay.
welcome. Or you're welcome.
Oh,
Or
thank you. Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Okay. Season 15, episode 8 with Brice, Greg, and me. Teams, okay, leave from this farm where that horrible hay bale challenge took place in Stockholm. And now I'm understanding. No, I was going to make a Stockholm syndrome joke, but I shouldn't do that because that's like not funny. Delete that. Okay, so in first place, you have Flight Time Big Easy at 2:23 a.m., followed by Megan and Shane at 4:12 because that roadblock took forever. Then Brian and Eric at 4:37, Sam and Dan at early 5, and Gary and Matt at 6:30. So there's like 4 hours difference, and all of the teams were at that roadblock at the same time. That's how nuts that stupid roadblock is. Okay, so get ready because this is the Amazing Race's first trip to Estonia, a place that I haven't been. I don't know if either of you have been. If you have, please talk about it because I'm dying to go there.
Nope.
I've never been.
Yeah.
I think my brother has been there. And it's gorgeous.
I've been there in movies.
Totes. Yeah. You've been there in movies.
One of my friends' dad just like opened up a company there. Apparently, that's like where all the next tech is gonna be. Like it's like the next.
Oh.
Like that's
Ooh,
so.
you heard it here first, folks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a software,
Estonian
software
technology.
designer.
Myself a note. I'm gonna invest in these stocks. Okay, so teams must take a ferry 236 miles to Tallinn, Estonia, and when they get there, they need to take a taxi to this place. Then use these keys that they're given at the starting line, like a janitor's ring of keys, to find one key that sounds the alarm in this door and opens the door, letting them into the building to get their next clue. So, Flight Time and Big Easy follow a man in the car to the ferry because it's smart. They find out from the disembodied voice in the ferry box that the next ferry is at 5:45 p.m. So enjoy your next 15 hours, gentlemen, because you will be sitting in your car at the ferry station waiting for everybody else to catch up. Equalizers are awesome unless you're in first place.
So I have a question because I took notes. I
Greg
thought
has
the
the answer.
train Well, yes. Maybe I was tripping because I thought when I watched it that it didn't leave until 5:45 a.m., but they didn't get into Estonia until 5 p.m. because they were in those like sleeper cars. No.
No. The next, what was it, train? 15 hours at the station waiting for it.
Oh.
Ferry? I don't know. Ferry, train, whatever. Yeah,
So,
ferry.
okay. You
So
might
they
be right.
waited at the ferry station
Yeah.
because and then the train had the sleeper cars to it. So I believe that is correct. Okay. So Megan and Shane. Shane basically like cuts off a taxi and gets directions to the ferry. I don't know why you didn't follow the taxi, but directions were good enough for them because they had 13 hours to kill. And so, and flight time Big Easy are like, is not till 5:45. And they're like, okay, PM. So Brian and Erica start talking about how the only leg that matters is the last one. Couldn't agree more. And Erica talks about how she didn't win any of the preliminary Miss America rounds, but she won the title, and that's all that matters. And they also follow a taxi because they're smart most of the time. We'll talk about it later. Greg, am I missing anything?
No, but I was wondering about that because they follow taxis. I don't know if you're allowed to do that anymore. Like, I think that's a rule now that you're not allowed to follow taxis. Yeah, so I was like, oh, that's pretty nice. But they also didn't have, I don't know if they had Google Maps back then. So if they don't, then I gave them a huge.
It's 2009. I feel like there were, you could definitely Google things.
Google Maps, though? Like, everyone has a smartphone where you can, like, just go up to someone and be like, hey, Google Maps this for me.
Did you do that everywhere?
Every single leg. Like, even if we were even semi-unsure, we were asking people for Google Maps.
But like, did you have any legs that were really, really super duper rural?
Oh, yeah. And then we'd find the one person and just like berate them.
Because we were in like legit rural Vietnam, there was nobody who was giving us Google Maps. Like there was a very big language barrier. And so as I'm riding on this bicycle, I'm just yelling the name of where we need to go, hoping that people are going to point me in the direction that we're going. Also to avoid having to have them sign the releases to be on TV, because if you just yell it out in the air and people point you, they don't need to sign a release.
Very true. Yeah.
Also, just fun fact, because I just asked Siri, because it's 2009, the Motorola Droid was one of the most popular phones outside of the iPhone in 2009, and it was an Android. Then it followed by the BlackBerry Curve. So they were smartphones, but I don't think they were as easier access to.
Well, if there was an iPhone, though.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know if Google Maps was used as readily, right? Like, I don't know if it was used as how it's used today,
That's
where
fair.
it's just like, do. But we haven't really seen anyone this whole season with a smartphone. Like, no one stopped anybody.
Because they stop people and say, hey, can you want to come do a leg of the race with us?
Well,
and
that
then
is
a person
true.
just did it with them. Okay, so Sam and Dan have decided they're not going to waste any time fighting this leg. Let's see about that.
Each other.
Right. They didn't mention flight time Big Easy. This is like just each other. And Matt and Gary are really cute. Gary starts talking about how he doesn't want to let Matt down. And I in my head go, foreshadowing.
But also I feel like, and mind you, I love Matt and Gary.
Love.
That Greg, at one point in time were my team to win.
Everybody was his team to win.
That's not true.
Which one was Matt and Gary again?
The dad and son.
Oh,
yeah. Because they're killing it. And also, I just want to say, after watching this episode, Greg, I do believe Megan and Shane will win this season. And so I am rooting for them. But when Gary says that,
Greg doesn't know. So he can't even give away the answer for you one way or the other. He does not know.
No, but I agree with you. Just the one episode I watched, I was like, yeah, I feel like these people win it.
They're killing it. And Gary talk about he don't want to let Matt down. Gary been holding his team outside of his ass, looking up maps when everybody else is just paying taxis. Gary has been holding this team together, and I like Matt. And
yeah, but sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go.
But here's the thing. Go with what you know. Gary is a generation older than almost everybody else. But if you've grown up, like, honestly, I'm about to age myself a little bit, but when I was learning to drive and I was in college
in the 1920s.
I'm sorry, we're not all a young 17, Brice.
Sorry.
We used to have to print out MapQuest directions if we wanted to go somewhere, and so we'd print out MapQuest directions, and then I would get lost, and then I would call my dad and be like, MapQuest is wrong, I don't know what's happening, and he would be like, MapQuest is not wrong. Maybe never go on a show where you have to find your way around the world. I do not
Can
listen.
first, can we talk about MapQuest for a second? Because
Yeah.
I had a brother that did a decade in upstate Pennsylvania penitentiary, and my mom and I would go visit him every month, and we would print out MapQuest. The gag about MapQuest is that you need to click the button at the end to say give you the reverse directions. We would, mind you, I was like 6 months old, trying to figure out my mom to okay, to get there was like exit 17 to 13. So now it's like 13 to 17, but I'm like 7. So I'm saying left when it really should be right. But when MapQuest made that feature of like clicking the button for the reverse trip, give them $1 million.
The point that I'm making is that Gary knows maps because that's what he grew up with. Like,
but do he? It's the question.
These days, I think he does. Kids these days, if they had to read MapQuest, I think they would be lost. And that's nothing against, kids these days. But like, if you I just feel like people are so reliant on technology. Like I should live 50 years ago because technology is great, but it's too much as far as I'm concerned. Like we've gone too far. I think there was a tipping point where technology went from helpful to just making us all dumber. So that's my thoughts on.
Girl, these kids these days, they can't even go through college, okay? Because they're having to create technology to detect technology because they're using ChatGPT to write their papers.
Yeah.
Where was that?
Yeah.
When I was in high school in 2022.
No,
you should be happy you didn't have it. Like it's not creating a generation of ChatGPT graduated college. Congratulations.
It's
and this
incredible.
Is not everybody. Don't yell at me.
It's nice that we have it now, though. Like as people who grew up without it, because now we're like, okay, we know how to write a really good email, but sometimes we're gonna have ChatGPT do it, right? Like we have the skills, and that's what a lot of times, because I'm a software engineer, and like all of these computer scientists who are coming in, like they're not really learning how to code. They're learning how to use ChatGPT and use Copilot to code. They don't know the core of it, and it's going to become. I mean, everything's just going to change. So in the worst way.
Also, fun fact, this is just because I can make fun of myself. I have ChatGPT. I don't know how to use it. Like I certainly am not using it correctly, and I've never ever used it to further my job or deal with a client. Like never. I would actually love somebody to teach me how to use it. So shut up, Brooke, because I'm all like, kids these days, back in my day, tuna fish cost 15 cents and I used to walk 5 miles both ways uphill to school every day. Like I feel like that's what my dad used to be like. And what do you need more than one pair of shoes for? You only have 2 feet. Like these are things that he used to say to me. Anyway. I digress. Sorry, Brice. What were you saying?
No, I'm just saying the more specific prompts you give ChatGPT, the better the outcome. But listen, we got to stop using Chat. Okay, this is my one little thing. Stop saying good morning and thank you to ChatGPT. Global warming is real.
Wait, what does it do when you say good morning? Does it go good morning, Brice?
It will respond back to you, but like the databases and the servers that they use to store them, it creates a lot of energy and it creates a lot of heat, and that is causing the extent to even more of our global warming project. So if you use it, but stop saying thank you to it.
But also, stop telling me that I should be turning off my air conditioner between, 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. or I should wash my dishes only at this late hour at night to save energy. But everyone's allowed to use ChatGPT to say good morning at any hour of the day. Maybe we shut down ChatGPT for an hour of the day and slow down global warming.
Or maybe you don't turn your air conditioners on until July. You have 3 days of 98. Okay, Greg is part of the problem.
Yeah, I am definitely part of the problem. I know, I even walked in today and the air conditioner was still on. I was like, dang, I gotta remember to turn this thing off, man.
But I bet you walked in and you was like, whew.
I was so grateful. I was so grateful. Thank God I left this thing on.
Okay, I'm sorry. We have
sorry.
So we just sound like curmudgeons. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so the little rivalry between Flight Time Big Easy and Sam and Dan is happening, but it's the kind of rivalry that I really, really enjoy. No, hold on. It's not like a Colin and Myrna from season 5 rivalry. It's not
that got nasty. Yeah.
It's it's at least from the Flight Time and Big Easy side, I find it really fun. They do a couple of things in this episode where I I watched it over and over because it was just so flippin' funny, and we'll talk about it. But I find Flight Time and Big Easy to be just, they can do no wrong. I find them amazing. They're hilarious. I cannot wait for you, both of you, to watch the rest of the season because there is something that will happen that will become a thing. But I do not want to tell you about it.
Please
Okay.
don't. And
I will
listen,
not.
I like Flight Time and Big Easy. I love how competitive and fun they are, right? Their competitiveness is with everybody. They want to win. And I really do like Sam and Dan. But like you said, it's not like Colin and Smyrna or Myrna
Killing
last
killing
season. What's her name?
I forget. I think it's
Charla and Myrna.
Charla and Myrna. It's not like that, right? But I bring that point to bring that, like, this is a prime example of like microaggressions that we can continuously see with Sam and Dan as to why they keep coming at Flight Time and Big Easy. And again, at this point for me, it doesn't feel like they're like, oh, they're the only team that can beat us. Bitch, Megan and Kane have been beating y'all behind. At this point, Erica and Brian, it just seems a little more.
Can I ask a
personal.
question?
And
again, I agree with you because I have noticed several of them. So I'm just devil's advocate for a second, which I'm probably not supposed to do, but I'm going to do it because I'm curious. What if Flight Time and Big Easy were, I don't know, Larry Bird and some other white basketball
different.
player?
It would be absolutely be different. And the thing for me though is like Flight Time and Big Easy are so funny, right? Like
so funny.
They're competitive with everyone, but it just seems like if that's, I don't know, it just seems like personal. And we can get to the end because I have a lot to say at the end, but
okay. So sorry, I'll jump through some other stuff. So everyone is on the same ferry. The ferry, after waiting 13 hours for Flight Time Big Easy, is 16 hours long. Greg, I don't know if you had any of these, but we were on like a 13-hour long ferry, but like we didn't have beds and stuff. We were on a ferry from somewhere in Italy to somewhere in Greece, and we were like steerage. There was like a hall in the ferry that had like, you know, seats, like just regular, like if you were at a banquet, they would just be like banquet seats, and we had to put seats together and like lay on them for 13 hours. There were no showers, there were no beds, there were some chairs. That was it. It was a lot, but the food on the ferry was pretty good because we were going to Greece, and I had a lot of spanakopita and not.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Did you have any ridiculous? I find there's usually one ridiculously long journey on each season.
There was one in Vietnam where we took like a sleeper bus for whatever 10 hours when it was like a tiny little, you know, the whole bus with a bunch of beds.
Right.
It was like the tiniest little bed, like obviously no showers. Yeah, what's up?
Now this is just me. Some people experience life through sight, sound. I experience through smell. What did that bus smell like?
Honestly,
give us as much detail as you can.
Yes.
I do remember the smell because it was such a tight space, and we were all so sweaty. I mean, this was like Vietnam in the middle of the summer. Like that kind of sweat.
For that, it's not good.
It was not good.
And I don't mean the country's not good. The country's great. I mean like none of us. Question. Were you with any other teams from your season, and which one of them smelled the worst?
Or not even the worst. Which team could you resignate that smell to? Because that's important.
Who, with your eyes closed, did you know the team was there? Because that was their signature scent.
I'm gonna keep it real 100 with you guys. Like it was really just Johnny and I. Like Johnny and I. I wasn't even thinking about the other teams because I was just like, my socks are absolutely killing people on this bus because it's just such a tight little space, and everyone had their shoes off because like you're trying to lay in the bed and trying to get some sort of comfy, and it was rough. It was rough.
What?
I'd never seen a bus like
that
that.
bad. 13-hour ferry with no beds, maybe not bad because we had like the top deck and we were outside and dancing around and hanging out and like so. Yeah, not the best conditions overall, but not a 10-hour team. Like we could move around.
Oh, yeah.
Like we played cards at a table in the dining area. So okay, maybe
I'm always impressed. Now I think about when I always think about it back, I'm impressed by how long we didn't have entertainment for. Like even when they were like, you know, the flight or the ferry's not leaving until 5:45 p.m. I was like, they just hung out for 16 hours. Like no phone, no nothing. They just hung out, and that's now very impressive. But in the race, you're like, yeah, it's what I got to do. I got no.
I mean, a couple teams, not me, brought. Did I bring a deck of cards? If I did, I got rid of it real fast because I wasn't carrying my bag most of the time. I learned a new card game on the race, and I don't know if this is a real game. It was called like Egyptian Rat Fuck. Is that like a real game? Because I learned that on the Amazing Race, and we played it every time there was downtime.
Oh, that's so funny. I call it Egyptian Rap Screw.
Okay, well, let's call it that because my parents watch this.
You heard that, Dale?
But I wonder if like the screw is
I'm sure it's the same.
I never knew.
That's where I learned it. Thank you, Redmond, who taught me how to play. Okay, so everyone's on this ferry. Matt's wearing a black headband to show that he means business. And I just really, really enjoy how... Oh, here he comes. Brice is getting ready.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I forgot about this.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Brice means business.
Gotta mean business this podcast. So hold on. Just for you, Matt.
There we go. So the ferry docks, and this is my first happy moment with Flight Time and Big Easy. Everyone's running off the ferry. Flight Time and Big Easy are kind of like at a slow jog, or as Lori would call it, a slog. And he starts saying to the other people, "You guys getting tired? We're still jogging." Like they're just having fun. Like anybody else saying this, like if Colin in season 5 had said it, I would have been like, "Oh, what?" But like Big Easy and Flight Time can do no wrong, and I just think they are so fun.
They're so fun.
Okay. So at the door, which is where they ultimately had to go, Sam and Dan and Megan and Shane work together and close the door behind them before Brian and Erica arrive. Now, my question to you guys is, do you even let the second team in that door, or do you shut the door in their face?
Let's talk about it, okay? Because obviously this is season 15 when you could do whatever you want. But if the clue says to open the door with the key, wouldn't this mean that if Megan and Shane opened it, like they would have to close it so that Sam and Dan could open it, not we walk through? I felt like that was a violation.
That's true. It should have been one at a time. I didn't even think about that. Like it would be such an awkward situation for them to be like,
well, I think I would have said, like, if we were first, since a team was with us, I think I would have been like, guys, don't you think there's a penalty if you don't open it with your key? Because it says use your key to open the door. And that way, it's not me being an ass. It's me trying to protect them from getting a penalty, but also a little bit be an ass. So that would have been my thought process.
That's funny.
Brice would have been like, oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so inside the door is the roadblock, and I actually love this task. Why is this episode not called "Are You a Candelabra"? I remember this so vividly. Okay, so it says, "Who can solve a medieval mystery?" This is for me. This feels escape roomy. This feels like super fun. I have one gripe in that the candelabras were not candelabras. They were just a candlestick. A candelabra has multiple prongs. It's very Liberace. That's not what this was, but that's okay. Anyway.
Is this a candelabra?
That's a candelabra, yes. If you look like Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast, you are a candelabra. If you're a single candlestick, I would argue not a candelabra. That being said, it's not candelabra, and it's not a person, so I don't really think I don't think there was a world in which it was multiple. He would have been like, "Oh, that's it." Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, he sees it, he's like, "Oh, this is not a candelabra."
I also think that in this day and age and this season, I probably think Matt could have gone to Gary and said, "What's a candelabra?" And then Gary would have been able to tell him, because people are helping each other on roadblocks and telling people what to do. He never did that. I think he should have.
It's a wild.
Gary definitely would have known, because they have candelabras on maps, and Gary would have, because Gary's very familiar with the maps.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, Greg. No.
No.
He's like, nah. Okay, so descend into the cellar and participate in a ceremony of the Brotherhood of the Blackheads. Is
now,
that
let me just say this. This is why I was happy we had Greg, because soon as they said Brotherhood, I would have not been going nowhere in that basement. And you got to hold the candelabra? No, thank you.
And I was confused. I remember this because I remember, whenever they have like the 10, 15-second rewind. I rewind it. I was like, did they say Brotherhood of the Blackheads? Like, what is this? What is going on here?
I was not going in there. I was nervous for Erica and Big Easy.
Yeah.
That's anytime They say brother like Hulk Hogan, brother, you're in trouble.
In Estonia too. In the middle of
In a
Estonia.
basement.
In a basement in Estonia.
And white men with swords fighting. No, thank you.
Yeah, this is like this. I might skip this one. I'm gonna take this.
Yeah. Sorry, brother.
I guess I'm doing it. Okay, so you have to take a candelabra, because I'm going to say it like Matt does, with a room number on it. Find the room, get a blank scroll, and figure out that the clue is in invisible ink, which can be read by holding the scroll over the flame. I wrote again, in Matt's defense, these don't look like candelabras, but also not in Matt's defense. He clearly doesn't know what a candelabra is. Okay, so before that, Gary and Matt get to their speed bump, which is, again, maybe it's just the Minnesotan accent, but they have to take a sauna bus. I actually don't know that they knew that this word was sauna. It's find a sauna bus, strip down, spend 5 minutes on the bus with locals, and then you're able to continue. I mean, this is an easy one, but honestly, I think this is what a speed bump should be. It should be something that takes a few minutes. It's not something that takes like a ton of skill. It's just a minor inconvenience. And that's what this is. But I don't think Matt thought it was an inconvenience at all, because he was sitting next to a super hottie blonde girl where he was like, hey, do you come here often? And she was like, I don't speak English. Like, it's fine. Gary is doing the most Midwestern thing of all time and telling his life story and who knows what else. The way that they edited it and just kept cutting back to him telling, I don't even know what in God's, what incarnation he was talking about, but he was talking something. They have a new idea for a business in northern Minnesota, the sauna bus. Love it.
Don't
okay.
you know?
Don't you know?
I was really hoping Matt would start spitting game. I was really rooting for him there. I was like, "Come on, baby, you got this." But
he could have got it. His freshly dyed hair.
And his black bandana.
And the black bandana.
He meant business. He meant business.
Yeah, all he had to say, he's not a part of the Brotherhood. And she would have been like, I'm with it.
I don't know. Maybe her husband was in the Brotherhood. You don't know.
You never know.
It's brother. You got to say it right, Brooke.
Brotherhood. Okay, I say it like that. Okay. Okay, so at the roadblock, Brian and Erica open the door, and Flight Time and Big Easy just go in with them because they don't ask for permission. Better to ask for forgiveness. Okay. Okay, so we have Flight Time, Shane, Erica, Sam, and ultimately Matt, who do the roadblock. Shane finds his scroll and figures out the candle thing right away and finishes in first. Erica finds her scroll, finishes in this episode's winner pick. Got it. Erica finds it and finishes in second. Sam is in third. Flight Time finds his room first, but then tries to like color his paper because here's my thing. Can you just
yes.
Go. Hello, everybody. My name is Brooke Camhi. I was on season 29 of The Amazing Race. Welcome to my TED Talk. If you are lucky enough to get selected to be on a season of The Amazing Race, and they give you, for example, a piece of paper and a candle, you don't need to find something else. Use the piece of paper and the candle. They will have something to do with each other. You don't need to, I love them, but Josiah and Alyssa your way into climbing a ladder out a window and looking for some other dictionary that's like, I don't even remember what the Gaelic to Cyrillic to English translation. They will give you what you need. This is very much like an escape room. You are given what you need. Use what you were given. It will save you time and help you win the race. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk.
I don't even know where you got the candle from, but I will say, I think a later person, I think the crayon in theory would have been helpful if you like used it right or something. Because I think it was Matt or something at the end. Yeah. But it seemed like you didn't need it at all.
Not at all.
Need it at all.
And I'm yelling at Flight Time because one is 2009, and I just love the fact that like on 2009 The Amazing Race, Flight Time and Big Easy are just so unapologetically black, and I love it. And it's giving like Flight Time. This is not no damn scratch off like on the lottery ticket. Like the way he was like, it was frustrating me. But
it's true.
He got it.
I do not think there were a lot. I can't think of too many like black couples and such in Amazing Race in the past. So they are one of the more kind of prominent black people on the race, and they're
also just like hella good fun. Like
good personality from Louisiana, from like they're just like you know, sometimes when Black people are in spaces like this, you know, they code switch. They like, you know, they try to assimilate. I love the fact that like they are not at all. They're authentically themselves and they are hilarious and so fun. And which is why I also think that it rubs some of the other teams aways because they maybe have never really interacted with. And again, let's be clear, like Flight Time and Big Easy are like professional athletes. And I think that that kind of rubs them, or it makes them feel, again, and I empathize with them. On my season, I had the legendary Cliff Robinson. And when we went on our trip to Thailand, they sold us, oh, we're going to be in these luxury rooms and everything. And then we realized we had to like share rooms. And I remember Cliff Robinson at one of the hotels to our handler was like, I'm not sharing no room. Like, and so I was like, oh, Cliff Robinson doesn't want to share a room with me. And so like for the beginning part of the trip, I was so like not standoffish, but I was like, oh my God, he doesn't want to share a room with me. And I will never forget, it was like maybe towards the second half of the trip, we had went out one night and Uncle Cliff pulled me to the side. Uncle Cliff was like, why we ain't share a room yet? And I was like, Uncle Cliff, because you said you didn't want to share no room with nobody. Uncle Cliff was like, brother, I'm trying to teach you. You get more out of the people when you act like you're not happy. And so then afterwards, me and Uncle Cliff, we would share a room together. And so again, so I do give grace to Sam and Dan, but I also feel like with grace, to give grace, you got to get grace. To get grace, you got to give grace. Okay, that's all. It's a random story.
Did he have to share a room at the beginning, or they let him have his way, or?
So, they let him have his way. And that's the thing. And while everyone else, we're all like sharing these rooms together, and we'll get up in the morning, and Uncle Cliff's like, oh, good morning, guys. And so, Uncle Cliff was like, why we ain't share a room yet? And I was like, because she was making a big fit. He was like, that's how you get what you need, Brice. I said, say less, Uncle Cliff.
Man, we got to learn from Uncle Cliff.
Yes. He was a well-traveled man.
Okay, so I didn't know if we were done with that, and I like hearing stories. So, but I'm here.
I love hearing this. I feel like I hear all the amazing race stories. I very rarely get to hear the survivor stories, and they're always so fun.
Tell us another.
No. My stories, Greg, unfortunately, are a bit shorter in time. You may want to talk to other people for a more wider span story. But yes, survivor stories are fun.
I know. I was hoping to see your face on the season 50. I was sure it was coming. I was sure.
Talk about it.
I know.
You'll be sure to see my face at a Brice and Win 50 stop and a 49 stop. And so listen, when they don't offer you the space, you create your own.
Love that.
Facts. Okay, so the answer to the roadblock is the scroll says you have to go to the Pick Herman Tower Garden, unless you're Matt, in which you don't see the word garden. I'm glad that they didn't climb the entirety of the tower. And Brian and Erica and Megan and Shane arrive first, and they get the clue. And it is the detour. And the detours in this case are serve, where you need to participate in a game of volleyball in this bog and score 5 points against a local team, but there are only 2 courts available at a time. Or sling, where you put on these bog shoes that look a little bit like snowshoes, like tennis rackets, and use a slingshot to fire assorted vegetables, because why not, at a target of a moose. And when it hits the moose, the table of cabbages falls over, and your clue is in the cabbages. Like, who thinks of this? Also, I'm into it, but it's a little ridiculous. Okay, which one do you guys do?
I'm doing volleyball 10 times out of 10. I've gotten so into
you're volleyball. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this looks fun. I'm also so curious about the rules. Like, can you win? Can you get a point on a serve? Because if not, I'm just like, serving to the corner. Because it's like literally, if you just don't hit it where they are, you cannot get to it. Like, you are literally, it is impossible to get to it. So I am curious, like, what the rules were and how strict they were on everything.
Were they keeping score of the other team though? It didn't look like they were. It looked like only if you scored a point.
Yeah,
they had a slot for the other team's score, but it didn't matter. Like, if they beat you 400-5, as long as you hit 5, it didn't matter. So they weren't really.
Okay.
I think
slingshot though.
Really?
Yes, I feel like for slingshot, in my opinion, it's so much easier, right? You got to get your aim, but after a couple of shots, I would have absolutely done slingshot, no question.
I think from a more fun perspective, I would have done the volleyball if it was available.
$1 million.
But yeah, okay, all right.
Okay,
Did they know?
You're talking to two people who know. We know.
Did they know it was going to be in mud, or did it just say?
It's he kicked himself off. Yes, we finally got. Brice likes to kick. So if you don't agree with Brice, he will kick you off. He has he's a dictator.
That's
but I liked he is an equal opportunity dictator because he will kick himself
with that
off.
One, though, Brooke. Okay.
So it did say, I think it said mud, because it said you can compete in your underwear, because Megan was like, I'm not doing this in my underwear, and Erica was like, all I'm wearing is a stringy thong. So Brian, give me your underwear or we're doing the other one.
Now, Brooke, you as a lady,
Commando. I'm just kidding.
Is that like, this is why I love Erica, because she is such a Miss America, like she is such a girly's girl. Is like, does it make sense to wear a thong on The Amazing Race, or like should you wear like regular underwear?
You're talking to the wrong person. I have a best friend who swears by them. That's all she wears. I don't find them comfortable. That's just that's for me. I would never wear one on the race. I mean, there's been too many times where it's like, run a mile in your underwear in Russia or wherever, or like do this or do that. And no, you need, or if you're jumping in the water and you want to take your clothes off so your clothes aren't soaked, you need to have, I would have like boy shorts on so that they can be used as a bathing suit in a pinch. But that's just me. I was working out for Erica so far, so.
But listen, we see how well Brian is performing, and now we know why.
I don't know why. You have that hotel room. Yep. A recharge.
Okay, I love this. Okay, so people are taking so it's Megan and Shane and Brian and Erica are headed to the Detour. They're taking taxis. There is one taxi there. This taxi situation from the Clue to the Detour in two different instances makes me happy. So Megan and Shane jump in this taxi and they're like, we'll have our guy call another taxi. And Erica's like, do it, Brice.
Brian!
Yeah.
Okay.
Why didn't you fight for that taxi? And he's like, well, they were here first. She's like, no, they were not. And I am Team Erica, because you don't and unless someone's bags are in a cab and you're not allowed to get in it from race rules, I will impede your going until that second taxi arrives. I'm watching that driver call that second taxi. We can make this a TED Talk, but don't bother. The point of my story is, do not let anyone leave until they've called the second taxi, because Megan and Shane are in that taxi being like, don't call another taxi. Or we should just remember what we said, we were going to call another taxi. Don't call another taxi. And when Gary and Matt's taxi calls Megan and Shane's taxi and asks for directions on where they're going, she's like, tell them you don't know. We don't know where Megan and Shane have become players, and I love it. I like how they're playing. Now, I don't like what happened to Brian and Erica, but they found another tab, and so everything was fine. And back at the roadblock, Matt is coloring in his paper, but doesn't see the word garden. And again, I'm glad they didn't climb the whole tower. So feel free to interrupt me here, because I feel like I'm on a roll and I need a drink of water. So
keep on rolling. But no, I think what I love about Brian and Erica is Brian definitely is the more calm one. He can fix the problems. And I think sometimes we just see Erica being like, Brian. But I really do feel like Erica is the fire underneath Brian, and really kind of like getting him into the race game. Like, we're not out with our friends trying to get to the next bar first, right? We're not playing credit card roulette. Like, we're on a race. What are you doing? And I like the fact that Erica stands on business. Like, she got in the car and was like, yeah, I got to let Brian know. I got to teach him that I really enjoy all of that. Who is that? Oh, that's Matt. Hey, Matt.
Did I say I had a craving for McDonald's? They said hi. Did I say I had a craving for McDonald's? And did he come home with McDonald's? Thank you. Oh my God. I haven't had McDonald's in years. But I had a craving for some greasy oh my God, Diet Coke, so that there's no calories in this.
Love that.
Yes, we got our first ever appearance from Brooke's husband, Matt. We always get her dog Bacon. Or was that your husband, or was that your DoorDash delivery?
Just going the extra mile.
Por qué no los dos?
Yeah, Brian.
I'm not going to spend the whole time eating, but damn. I'm going to say two things. One, McDonald's French fries are the best fast food fries out there, hands down. Fight me. Followed closely by Wendy's, but still the best.
What? Wow. Okay. Well, before Brice finish, no. Does anyone remember KFC when they used to have the potato skin fries?
No, it doesn't.
They used to have potato. Oh, okay, y'all. Okay, maybe
that's
I'm
not
aging
French fry.
myself.
That's a
but they had the potato skin French fries, and they were the best. That was the only thing KFC had going. But my bad, Greg. What were you saying about Brian?
That almost sounds like chips in a way.
Like, but they were so good. Dip them with some barbecue sauce. Ooh.
Yeah, KFC. Oh man, KFC just in general is fantastic. No, but Brian and Erica, I feel like with races or with teams, it's good to have either one of two things. Either like one person that is in it and means business and business is business, strictly financial, and then one person that's like, hey, I'm just here to go with the flow. And then you average out to like, somewhere in the middle, or have two people that are like both like, hey, somewhere in the middle. And I feel like they average out. One person's super chill, one person's like super standing on business, and then they average out to somewhere in the middle. Now you get into an issue when you have two people that are standing on business.
That's a very good point, Greg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, two people standing on business, they either butt heads or it's just way too serious of a situation. So I like them. I like that. I've only seen them for one episode. And they didn't get too much screen time, but it seems like they balance each other out pretty well.
They've had a couple of horror episodes, but Brian has been killing it, and Erica has not given up. And cool. Erica does this thing where like she just be like, Brian, wait up. But Erica has locked in this episode because even when they were getting to the detour, I believe, and they couldn't figure out where the marked arrows were, Erica was keeping up. Like Erica wasn't playing no games. Like they were all there together. I also would love I guess I already know this answer because when James was on with us, but I'd love to know your perspective. So they got to the.
If you're gonna ask him questions, I'm gonna
Brooke, continue.
Because I gotta tell you, sometimes you haven't had something to eat in a while, and then you eat it, and you're like, I wasn't missing anything.
We saw the way you took that first bite.
You put French fries on your cheeseburger, and because it has to have a layer of French fries on it. This does not disappoint. It's as good as I remember. I'm so sorry. I'll be done in 10 seconds.
Take your time. Let it flow, girl. Let it flow.
Sorry, go ahead. Hit it. I'm here.
Just let it flow. Okay.
Let it flow.
She said I got 3 times, Greg. Anyway, at this point, when they are all working together, I know this is how I feel like you go big or go home. I'm not staying with y'all MFers. Like me and Brian, we're going to like go to the left. Like I'm going to take that risk. I know. What do you say? Because you're a winner. Like you tell me. Because Brooke, I know she's going to disagree with this.
Oh, no. Yeah, I 100% agree. Like we were very much like we'd rather do our own thing than kind of be with the pack. And the one time that we did stick with the pack, we all had the race brain. We were all like, oh, we all don't want to be last. And so we got real
that parking lot with Ashley and Todd.
Yeah. I mean, multiple times. Yeah. And so you just get so confused when you're with everybody else. When it's just you and your partner, you can lock it in. You can get ready. You can kind of do your own thing. So I'm definitely kind of breaking away from the pack.
See, I feel like
disagree. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No,
girl, you on burger break. Thank you. Because here's the thing, right? It could be a disadvantage, Greg, or it could be an advantage. And I really feel like when you are playing Survivor, when you're on Amazing Race, you have to take risk. Yes, the risk could maybe end your game, but it's also the risk that could propel you to $1 million.
It's true.
So that's why I feel like, break away. But I know Brooke is going to say, like, when you're with teams, stay with teams, because even if you get lost together, you'll be in the end together. And then you can still break away and do so I understand that. But if you're not Flight Time and Big Easy and can't beat everybody in a foot race, then it's like, I'd rather break away.
That's true. The one thing I will add, if we are the last 3 teams, I'm sticking with the teams. Like if it's like between me and 2 other teams and we're all racing, then I'm sticking with the other teams because I want to make sure that I can get close and then I can beat them in a foot race. So that's the only time where I would stick with teams. But yes, other than that, I agree.
Until you said that, I was anti everything you were saying, but I was enjoying that burger, so I was keeping my mouth shut. If you're in the back, you stick with people. If you're in the front, if you're in first and there's like a number of teams behind you, okay, take a chance a little bit. But
yeah, but it's scary. Oh, it is. Oh, it is scary. being in the back. You were just like, I am clinching on to any sort
When
of.
were you in the back? Were you ever in the back?
The one time that we got caught up with the like, big group of people,
The
we didn't end up actually being in the back, but we thought we were in the back, and we were like, we're not leaving these people's sight. Especially exactly if you're like a big easy, team where you can beat someone in a foot race at the end. You're like, no, I'm sticking with them to the end.
So to be clear, Greg, when you were in the back, you guys were clinching on.
Yeah, we were. That's good.
Just utilizing my 3 chances.
You can have 6. I don't care. Okay, so sorry, I feel like a new person, but also. When I said McDonald's French fries are the best French fries, both of you looked at me a little crooked. Like, if we don't count KFC because those are wedges, like of the big ones, what would you say are the best French fries?
McDonald's is good. They just have to be hot and salty.
And salty.
I'm salty. I do like the Chick-fil-A French fries, and I know that they're waffle fries. They're like a completely different beast, but like they're just hefty. I like a soft, hefty fry.
Okay, so
I'm a hot take. Chick-fil-A is not for me.
Well, I mean, it's not for me either, but sometimes sometimes your advocacy has to be your presence. And so I will advocate for myself while I am ordering a number 1 with the Canadian bacon and the Polynesian.
The Polynesian sauce is
the
good
Polynesian and the Chick-fil-A sauce. Now, are you a sauce?
I just need a sip of Diet Coke just so that I negate the calories from the burger that I just
Let me know if does it burn, because it's not real good Diet Coke if it don't.
Yeah, that's good.
So are you a dipper of your fries, Greg, or do you just?
Oh yeah, you
Okay.
got to. I mean, unless a good enough fry, you don't need to. What's up?
What's your Chick-fil-A sauce of choice?
The first 3 words that you said, Chick-fil-A sauce. That's.
Oh, okay. The
They sell that in Target.
They do.
And they sell them in the big containers too.
Yep. They said we're gonna get.
Forget the Amazing Race. This conversation's better.
Chick-fil-A sauce. I don't know what.
Sorry, I'm done eating. For everyone who's in the comments right now, being like, that heifer needs to stop shoveling food in her mouth, I apologize.
I felt like I was eating through you. Like I felt like I just had McDonald's, so I appreciate you doing that.
Do you feel satisfied? Because I am so satiated right now. And I have another cheeseburger in there because the man knows it's a number 2. It's the 2 cheeseburger extra value meal, which might now be number 6. I don't know. With a Diet Coke. God, he's so great. Thank you.
You're only missing sweet and sour sauce, Brooke, because you got to have a hot McDonald's fry and dip it in sweet and sour sauce.
If I were there, I would have gotten sweet and sour sauce. But this was so nice that I'm not going to say anything about it. Okay. Back at the roadblock.
Okay. Also, at some point in time while we were playing volleyball, I felt like some of the teams that they were going against, I felt like they were allowing the ball to kind of just drop. Like they were I felt like they were really kind of giving it to them, but it wasn't in the beginning. It definitely was like their 5th ball. I felt like with Big Easy, especially with Megan and Shane. Oh, they just let the ball drop. But I wasn't mad at that because
But Megan was also a volleyball player. Like they noted. But before we get to the volleyball, we just take 1 second to talk about my absolute favorite moment of this episode, because Sam and Dan and Flight Time Big Easy are fighting for one taxi, right? And there's a taxi, and Sam and Dan are like, no, that's our cab. They called a cab for us. And Flight Time Big Easy are like, no, it's not. And they all climb into the taxi. And if I'm Flight Time Big Easy, I'm doing the exact same thing. And if I'm Sam and Dan, I'm probably trying to not let them, but also like, how are you going to stop them? The best moment of this episode is there are these things called OTFs for anyone who was never like on a show. It's just called on the fly interviews. So you're asked by a producer, like while you're in a cab or while you're on a ferry or while the race is live, but you're waiting for something and not actively doing a task. They ask you questions. Big Easy and Flight Time are giving an on the fly interview in this cab in front of Sam and Dan, who sit there and just watch them. And they're just like, yeah, we weren't not getting in this cab because Sam and Dan were not going to like kick us out. It wasn't their taxi. It was for anyone who was here, and we were here. And the look on Sam and Dan's faces were just like not having it. Was so, and again, if anybody else did this, I would be like rubbed the wrong way. But I'm so in love with these two that there's nothing they can do that's ever going to like rub me wrong. Anyway, talk about it.
You got to stand your ground. When you don't know when another taxi is coming in, how do we know that taxi is like that taxi was pulling up? So again, I That was interesting. And this is some of the classic Amazing Race that I feel like we don't see often in the newer seasons. But yeah, I don't know whose side I'm on. Whoever was at the taxi's driver's window, and I believe that was a Big E or Flight Time was talking to the taxi driver like, yeah, no, you can get in, but I'm going to talk to the taxi driver, get him on my side, and he's not going to turn me away. So and is that a rule in Amazing Race? Can we share taxis, or is it like you can, but both parties have to be agreeable?
Well, I don't think you're allowed to share taxis, because when they did that.
Well, the rules may have changed between 29 and 35. We could have shared taxis as long as the team is willing to let you get in, and as long as there are enough seatbelts, even though there's no seatbelts, but as long as there is enough space for your team and your sound and camera guy and the other team and their sound and camera guy. So if it's a regular taxi, there's not enough room because you need to travel with your sound and camera guy. But if it's like a van taxi, like there was a time where we called a van taxi to travel with another team because why not? Then you know you're with someone and you're not all by your lonesome in last place. So yes, you can travel with
Sam and Dan could have potentially contested this.
I mean, but what are they going to do?
I mean, again, that I think they weigh their pros and cons out. Like if we contested this, then So okay, so that's a win for Big Easy and Flight Time. Like
it was a big win. Yeah, because I don't think, at least I think they might have changed the rule, because I was like, oh man, you're not even allowed to do that. So they really got through. I was curious how that taxi ride went, like if they were chatting.
I mean, you watched it. Big Easy was giving an interview talking about how Sam and Dan didn't have the right to the cab.
And that's why I'm so glad. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, they were talking mess about each other in the taxi. That's just iconic.
Awkward.
Yeah,
it's perfection. Depending on what team I was with, it's sort of something I think that I would do. Okay, and then this is where Gary and Matt's cab calls Shane and Megan's cab, and she's like, "Don't tell them anything. Tell them the wrong." I don't know if she says tell them the wrong place. That might be a bridge too far, but like tell them you don't speak English. Okay, so Megan and Shane go to serve, and Megan does the exact same thing that I did on my first episode where we had to go against the kayaker people. She goes right up to them and says, "Who's the worst?" I went up to them and said, "Who's tired? Like, who's done this already?" And so they're doing that, and they go pretty quickly. They finish in first place. Flight Time and Big Easy change into in the cab, no less, in front of Sam and Dan, change into their Harlem Globetrotters uniform, because I think they're looking to use every advantage they have. And if the volleyball people are like, "Ooh, they're professional athletes," like, I don't know. They give no shits, and I love that so much.
We just have to also talk about, because it's 2009, they're wearing basketball shorts. Their basketball shorts come down to their ankles.
Literally.
There was a time in Black culture when that's what shorts look like, and the white tees would come down below your knees. And so it's just crazy seeing like Flight Time and Big Easy, which probably at that time are like my age. And you can see they look young, but to me, they look so old. Because they're wearing like these clothes that we wore in the 2000s. It like makes me think of like a Nelly in a St. Lunatics video when they just have like these white shirts that look like dresses. But just when they said they changed into their shorts and it really was short pants, and
Big Easy's like 6'10", I think. And so things that went down, that would be like an evening gown sweeping the floor.
Truly. Yeah, I know. I feel like there's multiple times throughout that episode where I'm like, how many years ago was this? I guess it was 2009.
Not that long.
It
16?
Really
like, it's not that long.
Yeah, because looking at those uniforms and just like even the quality of the camera, I'm like, wow, we've come such a long way in like, 14 years.
I feel like 2009 is sort of that tipping point where technology and everything is working for you. And then after that, it gets a little too smart. Okay. Meanwhile, Sam and Dan not impressed as they're changing into their Globetrotters uniform in the cab in front of them. So Megan and Shane finish the detour first, and the route information says run to the next pit stop on foot, which is this overlook tower, the only thing that's not like marshland in like this bog, and it's the pit stop. So they run to the pit stop. They see Phil. They come in first, and they win. These prizes are just ape shit bananas, but I love it. I want to ask them, like I want to find them and ask them, be like, they won a red cedar sauna to be used after the race. Like find them and ask them, like, do you have your jet skis? Do you have your red cedar sauna? Do you have, like, what have you kept? What did you take the cash value for, if you could? Whatever. Anyway, that's what
did that even mean? Like, even they were like, okay.
It's a wooden box. It's
like, like an actual sauna.
Yeah,
like
that you put in your house. Yeah.
I would love that prize.
So would I, though. So would I. I
give
would have
it.
been mad. I would have been jumping up and down. But I also wonder, Brooke or Greg, do you know, like, when we get these prizes, is it kind of like the Price is Right? Like, you can take the cash value, or even if you take the gift, do you have to then still pay the taxes on it? Like, no, that
you have to pay the taxes.
that's
I didn't win
annoying.
a trip, but I do know you have to pay the taxes. Did you win any trips, Greg? Where'd you go?
Yeah, we won a few trips. Yeah, we had to pay taxes, but we always got like Expedia points or whatever, so we don't even know like where the tax. Like, it was a weird. We had to let my tax.
Where were your trips?
Theoretically to we went two tax yeah, and then one was Namibia, which we actually are going to take our family to Africa, but like
That's awesome.
Wow.
What was the other one?
And then the other one was oh my goodness, Ireland? No, New Zealand, because
Oh.
Wait, you're not going to New Zealand?
No, we're just going to use all of it to go to Africa because it's
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
because Africa is way more expensive than I thought it was going to be. Not a secret.
Now, Greg, Brooke and I had the opportunity of going to dinner with Johnny, and he shared with us that after the race, he got on the phone with them airlines and said, "Hey, here's my number." Did you do the same thing? Because I think that is genius.
Yeah, there was a miss. I literally still have the tickets in my drawer, and every day I'm like, "Oh, I'll do it. I'm never gonna do it."
You didn't get the points for your tickets?
No, I didn't.
Points.
Yeah, good for you. I'm happy for you guys. It was a missed opportunity. Johnny actually, I think he memorized his, like, because there's airline like groups of like families. And I think he memorized his number for all of them. And so, like, even on the race, he was giving the number.
Right.
Pretty good.
Make me big.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am. You know what I was on. If
That was so
I want a
gangster,
McDonald's
yeah.
sponsorship. Okay, so if you get to go on the Amazing Race, just fun fact, if you take a flight, all of these like smaller airlines or luxury airlines or other airlines, they're all tied back to like the main ones. Like KLM will tie back to, I think, Delta, and then British Airways will tie back to like American. So if you fly on the race, write down your ticket number in your little journal, which you're obviously going to bring a journal. You have 30 days from the day of your flight to call the affiliate airline and say, hey, I was on this flight. I want the miles. You could get so many. Now, they're all not going to be on the same. Some are going to be on US Air. Some are going to be on American. Some are going to be on Delta, whatever. Get yo miles. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Woo!
Only
I love
the only
like, the hype.
reason, only way this wouldn't apply is if you were on Ricky and Caesar's season. You only went 47 miles in total.
Get the
So,
47. Mhm.
well, I mean, I ain't mad, but yes. Okay.
What was the 47 that they did?
Well,
I
I mean,
mean, from
they went to like
Haiti to the Dominican Republic.
right, like they.
Rewatch.
Oh.
I kid. Sorry. Okay.
And then the COVID seasons, they didn't even get.
Oh, right.
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully
yeah,
COVID never happens again. No,
Well-
and we don't have to worry about that.
Time out though. If you're a Rune in Italia, get them points, because the way they flew back and forth because they got eliminated, then came back, and then during the COVID season, the team dropped
9
out.
lives.
So they had to fly back. So a Rune in Italia, even though it might have been a COVID season, they got some points. Shout
They
out.
got their miles. They got their flight time.
I love a Rune.
Oh, wait. Blah, blah, blah. What are we talking about? What are
So
we
Megan
talking
Exchange just they boom
Right.
checked into the tower, and now the three teams that since Greg and
about?
Brooke
No,
were
there's still
free,
4
but-
teams. No, there's still 4
But
teams.
the three teams that Greg and Brooke say, you guys stick together because they didn't break off, we're at the three teams trying to figure out where to go.
Right. Oh,
Technically
okay, here we
4,
are.
but they're so far.
Yeah.
Gary and Matt are so far.
That is okay. So Gary and Matt are at the tower. And then Megan and Shane did their detour. Flight time, Big Easy, Shane did. Gary and Matt are not giving up, even though they're in last. And Megan and Shane go to the pit stop. Okay, here we are. Yeah.
Let me just give you my gripe. Fast forward. Gary and Matt get out the castle. They figure it out, and they have to go to where they're going. When I say, Greg, I immediately screamed because as soon as they got out the tower and they had to figure out they had to go to the pink garden, what does Gary do? Gary pulls out a damn map. Gary! The map has been messing you up this whole time. And I was so happy that they actually went to somebody. Oh, and I love Gary. And Gary, I say this with love, but when he pulled out that damn map, I said, Gary, this is why y'all had to do a road stop.
He's determined to use that map.
Yes.
He's sponsored by that map. He's sponsored by Big Map. Oh man.
That's
like
funny.
why is you pulling out that map? It's all these people in the city that you are near, and y'all want to stop and pull out the map, Gary. I was rooting for you. We all were rooting for you. Sorry.
I like it. Full on Tyra.
At that point, they were so far. But I mean, honestly, I forgot because there's no non-elimination legs during like the new seasons, obviously, and I forget that like having to do that speed bump after already coming in last and leaving last. And of course, this was an equalizer leg, so they had a decently fair shot. But like, you really just gotta hope that another team messes up. Like there was no way that they were ever, especially trying to use a map. There was no way they could ever win that leg.
And you can't be the team scribbling on the scroll and not finding the candle, Matt. But I love you, Matt. Okay, sorry. Just had to get that out. I didn't want to forget that. That was heavy on my notes.
Meanwhile, Bacon is trying to eat the McDonald's. So that's what we're trying to avoid. You can get down. If you could see what was happening, you're down, out, goodbye. Okay, so the three teams who are not Gary and Matt or Megan and Shane are searching for this path together, and they find the path and they're sprinting while Matt and Gary are still in their car. Flight time, Big Easy, and Sam and Dan go to serve, and Brian and Erica try the slingshot because they can't do the volleyball. Not they can't, they there's no space, right? So Flight time, Big Easy are happy to see the mud because everyone's at a disadvantage, and these guys are so tall that even standing in the mud, they're like regular sized humans.
And their wingspan.
Wingspan's incredible. And Big Easy is heckling the pros, which is just so funny to me and endearing. And the one thing I did notice. Did you notice Sam and Dan as they were doing this?
They were blurred.
Blurred out.
I paused it. I have to do my journalistic due diligence for the podcast. And I was like, I wonder if this is like a blur that they put on in retrospect. So I was like trying to fast forward and then stop it to see but I was confused as to why they blurred it and not blurred the other people that were actually in Speedos that you could see prints. Also, time out. There was okay. I don't even know why I'm about to tell you all this, but also there was because I know I sent it to somebody. There was recently a track and field, and there was because I don't know why, and this don't really have nothing to do with nothing. I just want to make sure I get his name right. Am I going to find it in time? There was a track and field, and when they do the hurdles, and there was this brother, and I swore I had his name because I had to save the TikTok. But hold on, wait. Sorry, y'all. This is the summer rewatch, so you got to bear with us.
I'm curious
because I know. Well, I mean, you probably won't be. Oh my God, the post got deleted. So.
Did you not screenshot this before the post?
So I didn't screenshot it, but I sent it to the realms of my group chats. And so there's this black guy. He's athletic, and they're doing the hurdles.
Okay, I've seen this. Yep. I know exactly what you're about to say. I got it sent to me.
He's having some difficulties, and they couldn't blur it out. And at least 3 times during this match that he absolutely won, as he's okay, some things is like, hello. No. And he's having to adjust. Woo!
And he still won it?
And he still won it.
That's impressive.
Okay? That's not what's impressive.
Also, do you remember the pole vaulting guy?
Yo, yes.
Over the pole, like the bar with his, we'll just say,
Yes.
manhood?
God, I
Way to
can't
go
wait
out.
until the Summer Olympics. Okay, that's what we need. Okay, but
Not for his Team USA spirit, but to see what kind of what did they call it when Janet Jackson's boob popped out? What did they call, like a fashion? What did they call it?
a malfunction, a wardrobe malfunction.
Thank you. What wardrobe
Yes.
malfunctions take place? That's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I was wondering why they blurred them out, but
because their panties were so tight that I think you could see too much of an outline. I don't know.
that's because they were their panties were in a bunch because they were playing next to Light Time and Big Easy.
Amazing. So at this time, Brian and Eric are doing the slingshot. Matt and Gary are hoping to catch up at the detour. Okay, so Sam and Dan, Flight Time and Big Easy finish. Sam and Dan finish 30 seconds later. But Flight Time and Big Easy put their clothes back on. Sam and Dan decide we're not going to do that because why would you? I wouldn't do it either. Just start running to the pit stop. So Sam and Dan actually get ahead, and I love a foot race. So stop. We're talking about a foot race. So Flight Time ends up basically taking out Dan because Sam and Dan are running, and Flight Time is running up right behind. I personally do not think that anybody on purpose elbowed because absolutely not. I don't think anybody elbowed, but I do think when you're running and you're hoofing along, I think that it was a little narrow, like boardwalky kind of path, and people were covered in mud, and Flight Time and Dan basically go down, and they all end up at the mat together. And Sam and Dan are second, and Flight Time and Big Easy are third, and Flight Time's face says it all. You guys talk.
Okay. Two things I want to bring up. Flight Time and Big Easy, they put their clothes on and they run the opposite direction. Dan and Sam don't put their clothes on and run the right direction. Flight Time notices it and says we have to turn around. Now, this is also where I just want to give some praise to Flight Time and Big Easy. They keep, you know how you got that friend that's like, I'm better than you in Uno. I can beat you. Then you play them in Uno and they lose. Flight Time and Big Easy been saying they can beat MFers in a foot race this whole time, and I've even been skeptical because I'm like, y'all 6'7", like, yeah, y'all are fast, but y'all are like, no. Flight Time and Big Easy are mother effing fast because they ran the wrong way, noticed it, caught up to them multiple times. Flight Time fell twice. And you know that second time he got hurt because he said, hey, big Easy, they got that one. They got it. But
also, like, had the boardwalk been wider, they definitely would have gotten second.
And
like it was just
the marsh.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
now here is where.
Side note: I gave Bacon a French fry because he was being annoying, and what did he do with it? He just left it.
Here is. Hello,
Ooh.
my name is Brice Izyah. I played on Survivor Season 28, and here is my TED Talk. I feel like last season of The Amazing Race with the Fios brothers and Pops and Jeff, when they were at that airport, it got a little physical. Like, I feel like Nick even, pushed Pops to the side a little bit, but like the adrenaline is running and that's what happens. Like, they're athletes. I get that. That's not even my problem. Like, the fact that that even happens, like, it excites me because I'm like, okay, we're in this race. The thing that pissed me off the absolute most, Big Easy and Flight Time are obviously not happy that they lost or whatever. And they talk about the scuffle. And I guess Big Easy might say like, okay, now we know what time it is. Like, we're locked in. We're locked and ready to go. Me, as someone that has older Black brothers that are athletes, when they say, okay, we know what time it is, we're locked in, we're ready to go, that means we're locking in, they're ready to play, they're going to give it their all. The thing that frustrated me the most, and again, these are microaggressions that we see all the time, is that in Sam and Dan's confessionals, they're like, oh, Flight Time and Big Easy say they're locking in and going to get us. What are they going to punch us? Like, when have we ever seen Flight Time and Big Easy talk about assaulting, talk about like it, like we haven't
even say anything negative? I mean, even when they were getting Mike, oh, sorry, you're doing your thing. Sorry.
I'm just saying, like, we've seen them ish talking is one thing. They've never threatened anybody. And so I think that, and this is what just frustrates me about them, is that in these confessionals, we've seen Sam and Dan continuously go after Flight Time and Big Easy. And now we're at, and now, if anything, they should be celebrating. Like they should be like, yeah, we got y'all. Yeah, like just like Flight Time and Big Easy would be. But then in this moment, they take it to be like, oh, I don't know. Or they're gonna assault us, they're gonna punch us. That kind of really rubbed me the wrong way. And I've been really trying to give Sam and Dan the benefit of the doubt. But this right here kind of like just sealed the deal for me that like, yeah, this is a little bit more than like a friendly game of fire. Like it's giving, they don't feel like Flight Time and Big Easy are worthy to be competing with them, or they feel like it's somehow unfair because they're athletic. That's all my hot take. Sorry, but that just really rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah. I'm curious what their feud, like how their feud started, because I am surprised. Like I think I've seen one episode of Flight Time and Big Easy before, and like you guys have been saying, they are such a joy to have. And like, yeah, they talk some ish, but like, it's just fun. Like it's
right.
Fun
like
stuff.
Even when they're like telling Micah to get off the water slide, they're like, "Don't do it. We'll walk you down." Like it's not even like you can't do it. You're like, it's not even negative. It's I'm scared. Like it's like even in sort of like a heckly joyful sort of way. So I can't see. I believe that if Flight Time Big Easy were second, there would have been no talk of you did this to me. It would have just been happiness. But I think it all started because Sam and Dan, this is the only other male team left in the race. They are bigger, stronger, faster.
And they were ahead of them a couple of times. And so like they're the team to beat. Not to mention Micah and Shane, not to mention Brian and Erica. Prior to this, there were other teams that have gone home that were ahead of them that they're working with. And my thing is like, sometimes if you can't beat them, join them. But that's also why their issue comes in at is because they proved today they can't beat them in a foot race.
It's true.
I like Sam and Dan though. I like their bickering.
I mean, I like them, but I just feel like there are some things that they do that like, and again, this is 2009. I'm not saying that I'm sure they have grown and evolved, but I'm just saying on the rewatch, things hit just a little different in context. So that's all.
Yeah. There's different kinds of competitive. And I feel like there's the type of competitive that you're still competitive. You still want to win. You can still talk, you can still talk mass, but you're still having fun. Like you know that there's a level of like, hey, but even if I don't win, it's going to be all right. It does kind of seem, at least from the episode that I've seen, it does kind of seem like they are a little too intense with the competitiveness, and it's starting to turn a little bit not fun. Like even, I didn't see the episode before, but when they were just like yelling at each other, they keep telling each other like, shut up. Like those are just the teams. That just doesn't make the race as fun to watch, because you're kind of like, oh, these people are genuinely like kind of mad at each other. Like, I don't really want to see that.
Right.
Skip season 29. Also, does it look a little bit like I have like a gnome like angel on my shoulder? Like the devil. He's just he's telling me what to do.
I was glad to see the Travelocity gnome this episode. I haven't seen the Travelocity gnome in a minute.
Yeah, well, they got rid of him, which is silly because he's the best like mascot ever. Maybe second to the Geico Gecko. I like lizards. Okay, so anyway, Gary and Matt get to the detour. Just as Brian and Erica are hit the target and are finishing the detour, Brian and Erica come in fourth, and Gary and Matt do the shooting anyway, which is great. Like you just have to imagine they were going to be good at this, and they get it very fast. And then they head to the pit stop, and unfortunately, they are eliminated. Gary's just like, we had an off day. Gary cries, and so I cry. They're just so like heartwarming, and he's so proud of his son. And Gary says to Matt, I love you, and I'll take you just the way you are. Like, what kind of sweetness and love and joy. Side note, next time Sam and Dan try to mess with Erica. Big mistake. There's your teaser, Brice.
And mind you, Greg, I don't watch the previews because I feel like in real time, in real life, it's spoilers. So I don't like it because you know how people with Survivor like, oh, it's spoilers. Well, the preview was a spoiler, but as soon as it's over, I cut it off. They're messing with Erica.
They try.
No. Oh, I'm glad. Okay, thank you, Matt. This black bandana might have to come back next week because. Okay. Well, I was sad to see Matt and Gary go, but also the thing that I really loved about Matt and Gary this season was that you know how sometimes, even like last season with Han and Holden, where they said that they like were siblings. Han was older, Holden was younger, then she went away to school. They weren't really that connected, but on the race, it seemed like they were pretty well connected. With Matt and Gary, they said that there was like a disconnect. And like on the first 3 episodes, you can see that like they really don't know each other that well. And I think that was the beauty of this team for me, was really seeing them bond, really seeing at some points in time on physical challenges where Matt had to sit out and let his dad do it, and the dad was killing it. And so you really can physically see their bond. And so I was really sad to see them go, but I'm happy that they made it this far. It was great to watch them.
I mean, you know, I love a father-child. Like, I wanted to race with my dad at one point. I will race with you anytime, Dad. But I will say, I went down a little rabbit hole with Matt and Gary. And do you know who Bonnie Hunt is? Like the actress? She had a talk show at one point. It doesn't matter. She's like
in the 20s,
80s. She had a talk show at the time when this was on in 2009, and Gary and Matt were guests on her talk show in the audience. She's talking to them about their elimination and the candelabra and whatever, and they talk a little bit more about their relationship and how it's only gotten better and better and better since they've been on the race. So I love the dynamic here. I love the growth here, and it lasted. It just sounds like this is they needed this to make their relationship even better, and so it's so wholesome and I love it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite arcs of characters, is the ones where it's like, hey, we don't really get a chance to hang out all that much. We're using this as a chance to reconnect, and then you get to reconnect in just a completely amazing way. And then you can just see it at the end. Exactly. Like you start crying because you're like, I just love this person so much. That's a good arc. That's a fantastic arc.
Yes.
Agree.
So Matt and Gary, they should be absolutely proud. Greg, we are always proud of you and your brother, and we can't thank you enough for joining our, I don't know if you want to call this food review, smell review, because it damn sure wasn't a recap. Listen, we appreciate you so much. Brooke, as always, you let things flow and go, and that is why I love you. This has been your Purple Pants Podcast, summer rewatch of Amazing Race, season 15, episode 8. Please join us next week as we will be covering episode 9. Enjoy your summer. Talk to you soon. Bye.
McDonald's, sponsor me. Bye.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
No.
Okay, party over here.
I don't know how that happened. What did you do? This?
Hey.
It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.